Have you ever wondered why witches whisper Hecate's name at midnight? Or why crossroads have always been seen as places of mystery and danger? Because hidden in the shadows of ancient Greece stands one figure feared and worshipped alike: Hecate. She is the goddess of witches, of crossroads, of ghosts and restless souls. But her story isn't just about magic. It's about power, fear, and the choices that shape destiny. And today, we're going to peel back that dark veil and discover who Hecate truly was. But before we enter her world, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the rest of our journey through ancient myths and forgotten gods. Now, let's step into the shadows. Picture this. A torch flickers in the cold night. A woman in a long black cloak stands where three roads meet. The wind is silent, but the air feels heavy, almost alive. She waits, as if something or someone is about to arrive. That is Hecate, at once mysterious, terrifying, and strangely protective. She is no Olympian who feasts on nectar and wine. She doesn't rule from a golden throne. She rules from the edges, from the unseen places where mortals fear to go. In Greek mythology, Hecate is unlike most other gods. She was not one of the 12 Olympians. She wasn't Zeus's child or Athena's rival. In fact, some stories say she was older than the Olympians themselves, a Titan daughter of Perseus and Asteria. And while many Titans were overthrown in Zeus's rise to power, Hecate remained. Not only did Zeus allow her to keep her domains, he gave her even more. Why? Because her power was undeniable. She could grant victory in war, prosperity in harvest, or destruction in both. She walked freely between the realms of gods, humans, and the dead. She belonged everywhere and nowhere. But her real strength was the night. Hecate was always shown with torches, lighting the way through darkness. Imagine her face illuminated by fire, her eyes sharp as she stood at the threshold between life and death. Sometimes she carried keys, because she alone could open the doors that others could not. The door to the underworld, the door to fate, the door to secrets best left untouched. And where did people call upon her most? At the crossroads. Crossroads have always been strange places. You stand there, and you must choose a path, left, right, or forward. In ancient times, crossroads were believed to be haunted. Ghosts lingered there. Evil spirits waited for the lost. And so, people left offerings for Hecate at night. Cakes, honey, garlic, eggs, fish. These were called Hecate's suppers. The poor often waited until dawn to collect these offerings, but no one dared to take them before midnight. Why? Because they believed Hecate herself walked the roads at night, followed by the howls of dogs and the whispering souls of the dead. To steal her food was to invite her wrath. Now, here is the problem. For the Greeks, Hecate was both a guardian and a threat. She protected households from evil, but she also commanded the restless dead. She guided travelers through darkness, but she could just as easily send ghosts to torment them. She was duality itself, light and shadow, safety and danger, and that is what made her so terrifying. One story shows this duality clearly: the abduction of Persephone. When Hades seized Persephone and dragged her into the underworld, her mother Demeter searched desperately for her. No god admitted to knowing anything. No one spoke, except Hecate. She had heard Persephone's cries echoing through the night, and with her torches, she guided Demeter through the darkness to find the truth. This is where Hecate shifts from a goddess of fear to one of loyalty. She becomes Persephone's companion, walking beside her each year as she returns to the underworld. Hecate doesn't simply belong to the shadows. She uses them to protect. But make no mistake, her protection came with a price, because Hecate was also the goddess of witchcraft. Every spell, every incantation, every ritual whispered her name. Ancient sorcerers called upon her at night, especially when the moon was dark. She was believed to control spirits, to send dreams, to shape reality itself. Think about this. In a world ruled by gods like Zeus and Apollo, who valued order, light, and law, Hecate thrived in chaos, in mystery, in the unexplainable. She didn't need temples on every corner. Her temples were crossroads, caves, cemeteries. Her altar was the boundary between what is seen and unseen. Now imagine being an ordinary Greek farmer. You feared Zeus's thunder. You feared Poseidon's storms. But when your child had nightmares, or when sickness spread through the night, you feared Hecate most of all. Because you could not see her, yet you felt her presence everywhere. This fear, however, was also respect. The Greeks knew better than to ignore her. They left food at her shrines. They whispered prayers at night. And when the dogs barked wildly for no reason, they believed it was because Hecate was passing by. But here is the challenge. When a goddess is both feared and loved, where does she truly stand? Was Hecate a savior or a monster? Was she the protector of women and children, or the commander of restless ghosts? The truth is, she was both, and that duality is why she survived when so many other gods faded. Let's pause for a moment. Imagine you are standing at a crossroad under a moonless sky. You hear the distant howl of dogs. You clutch your torch, but the flame flickers low. You know you must choose a path, but each road seems darker than the last. Then, suddenly, you see her. Hecate, holding her torches, eyes fixed on you. She does not tell you which way to go. She only lights the space before you, leaving the decision in your hands. That is the heart of her power, not control, but choice. Hecate became a symbol of free will, of standing at the edge of the known and unknown. She is the moment of hesitation, the weight of decision, the fear of stepping into the dark. And in a way, she is still with us. Think about it. We still talk about crossroads in life. We still fear the dark corners of the night. We still leave offerings, flowers on graves, candles in the window, prayers whispered into the void. These are echoes of Hecate's worship. Even today, Modern witches and pagans honor her as their guide. They see her as the one who lights the path when no one else will. Some call her the Queen of Witches, others the Guardian of the Dead. But in all forms, she remains the same, powerful, mysterious, never fully knowable. And maybe that's the point. Hecate is not meant to be fully understood. She is meant to be felt. So, who was Hecate? She was the goddess of thresholds, of choices, of shadows. She was the whisper in the night, the torch at the crossroads, the companion of the lost. And when you find yourself standing at a crossroad in your own life, unsure of the road ahead, maybe, just maybe, she still walks beside you. So, if you want more stories of forgotten gods and hidden myths, subscribe. And let's keep walking these shadowed paths together.